Alright, here we go. I'm going to put this thing in. It's a snowy, cold day. 6 to 8 inches last night. Still kind of on and off today. We've had some bouts of sunshine, but don't know what this snowstorm's doing. I'm not going to wait. And you see this here is the longer console that'll fit up there. Which, if you know the trucks I've owned over the years, this is kind of me taking parts and pieces that I used to have in my 2000 Z71 Tahoe, which was a GMT 400, if you know how those worked. In the year 2000, all the new trucks came out except for the Z71. The Tahoe Z71 was still the GMT 400. But yeah, I was looking around in the junkyard, and this space here, in my 2000 Tahoe, was the same way. It didn't have an actual electronics package in there that learns your signal. The ones I saw in the junkyard did. This one is the old school one that you just Velcro in your garage door opener remote. It doesn't have the hatch. I couldn't find the hatch anywhere. The other two trucks that had this console had the whole electronic package, and I'm not so sure I've got all the wiring needed to make that run, so I'm just going to go old school with it. This hatch here, sunglasses holder. This hatch here, if I can get it to open, actually was supposed to hold CDs, and there was an elastic piece that would go there that I could replace if I wanted to. I got other ideas of what I'm going to use it for. I'm not going to do CDs. I don't even have a CD player in this truck. But yeah, having a longer console appeals to me because you get lights up front, which right now I've only got those ones right there, which, yeah, it's kind of not in the right place. Up here is better. So you get the lights up front, of course all your rear control and all that kind of stuff like I've already got. In this model, somebody pulled the knobs off because knobs are hard to come by, I guess. But in theory, this should be, and how many times have I said that, an easy install, because you basically got one screw that mounts up there. Can you see that little grommet hole on the front of that mini console? And you got these two clips here that hook into some sheet metal holes that are sitting somewhere in that vicinity. Now, looking at all the trucks I've looked at, those holes exist in all of the SUVs, whether or not they've got this installed, because, you know, why are they going to stamp out two different forms of steel? They're not. So let's hope that they're in mine. If they're not, this is going to get a little bit more difficult than I thought. But yeah, let's get to this. This one should be a 10, 15, 20 minute project, right? Well, maybe the wiring. I kept all the factory plugs. That's the power for the lights. That's the HVAC control. So it should, as long as this little HVAC control unit and all that is good, should be an easy project. Let's see if I can do that. Oh, and another little shameless plug, not that I'm sponsored by them or anything, but baby wipes. This thing, 20-year-old, you know, in the dust, in the junkyard, who knows where all the dust came from. This was inside the truck, but, you know, wipe all that down. Baby wipes are an awesome tool for leaving no residue and actually wiping down all your plastic and dash parts, your steering wheel. Baby wipes are great for interior detailing, cleaning up messes, because they leave no residue like the Armor All wipes or others. But yeah, there's my little tip and trick. Alright, back to the project at hand. For a factory screw, that's pretty long. Usually those things aren't more than ½ an inch long. But you can see what I'm talking about here. This little small one's hanging on by the same kind of clips. And it has those little square holes. Oh, I'll get a good shot of it. Those square holes it clips into. Now, what I was worried about, I've only got the wiring for the HVAC controls in here. I'm wondering if this green line actually supplies me the power I need, because I'm guessing it runs off the same circuit that these run off of. And why else would you have this line there? The other thing while I'm in here that I want to check out is how hard is it going to be for me to install a set of center lights up there, because that's the outside skin there, that's the inside skin. These roofs on these things have two skins, inner and outer. So I don't know. Fish around here and see, because I got clearance lights sitting there and I'm waiting for a warmer day when I can drop the whole headliner and everything and I can put those in. But that is the question there, what kind of access do I have? I mean, I have this nice neat hole here. If need be, I can put a hole saw here or something, I don't know. Do something to make that work. But otherwise I want to find out the same, use these vanity lights, whatever you call them, if that same color of lines are what's right here, all wrapped up in that green tape, huh? Because I need those to hook to that. And obviously I don't have the factory connection. If I'd have thought about that, I'd have swiped it from the truck I took the console out of. But no. Let's dig into this and see what I got. Now, first things first, I want to make sure these actually work. I plugged it in and yeah, it does work. So that control's good. I don't have to swap it out with the old one. So I know those switches all work. Regardless, I'll probably keep this one around just in case, because it's a spare control center. If it doesn't work, then I'm good. Might call this the point of no return. I've made some marks up on the headliner up there, and I'm going to cut them out now. But I marked those in conjunction with these little feet like this that are on the longer one. But yeah, just stick it up there and just mark right on the leading edge of them so I know about where my square should be. And I only need to cut out. Maybe I want to mark the whole outline of this whole U shape of these things. Then I know I can go a little bit wider than those on the hole, because I don't need much more than a rectangle that holds those. But yeah, let's go see how that works. Yeah, more like that. And I'm also using, as a reference, you get these indentations from the original one, plus also lining it up with those. So using those original indentations, and I should be able to find it. Oversize this hole a little bit, and it should snap it into place where the factory intended. And then tighten it back down. But first I got to figure out that wiring. Let's see what that wiring actually is. That's curious. On my 93 Suburban, the wiring was external, but I think in these ones the wiring is actually internal to this pivot. So I can't see if it's the same colors or not. Just got to strip that tape off. Don't know if you can see what I'm seeing there, but yeah, you've basically got 3 blacks that are all joined together right there under that mess of factory duct tape. They crimped them all together and then duct taped them. And that's wow. And the orange, I'm guessing, is a power line. However, I've learned not to guess with this truck. I'm going to go see what I can find in my manual's electrical diagrams and see if maybe it'll tell me which ones are which up here, and then I know exactly what I'm wiring into. I mean, all I need here is an orange and a brown, and that's an orange, and I'm guessing that's all that is here. I bet if I pulled off that A-pillar trim, I bet you that's all I'd find in there is just the orange and the black, or the orange and the brown, whatever. Yeah, I guess that is orange and black. But yeah, I'm guessing that's exactly what I need to be tapping into. Get some light into that, I don't know. But yeah, that's funny to see. They just crimped 3 lines together and then wrapped them in duct tape. What's interesting is this strap piece here goes forever, the entire length that they did the green. They didn't want that moving and rattling around at all. But yeah, I'll tape it all back up when I'm done. Kind of kicking myself for not pulling the other side of this out of the truck. I should have just clipped it with a good 5 or 6 inches of wiring, and this would be a lot simpler a job. But I'll just get some generic bolt connectors and do it that way. There's not much voltage going through here, and I should be able to protect it well enough to make it work. I'm going to go on this side of the wiring instead of messing with this 3-way ground junction. Don't know why that's there. I don't know. I need to double check the manual, make sure that is exactly what I think it is. Otherwise, I'm just going to go color for color and hope it works. Alright, here we are in my manual. There it is right there, the vanities. Orange is power, black is not. So yeah, I'm actually pretty okay here, so I can do exactly what I think I want to do. Let's get this thing wired up, then I'll get the hole cut, and then get it mounted and be done with this game, right? Should be that simple, I hope. But yeah, this manual has all the wiring, everything you want to need. It's right there. Tells me exactly what the vanities are, orange and black, just like I thought. What I don't understand, why is there so much black into that one? I don't know. I mean, you got 3 wires. That's the junction I'm looking at right there. There's that little junction. And that's the 3 black wires going to probably a chassis ground by the looks of it. So somewhere up here is a chassis ground that does that. But yeah, let's get to it. Alright, here we go. I'm actually going to heat shrink this. And this nice little lighter I found in Walmart. I get it to work. Ooh, am I out of fuel? There we go. Let's heat shrink this sucker. There, I feel much more comfortable about that. Oh yeah, it's a Chinese knockoff of a Zippo of some sort. It has a nice butane torch type light to it. I like it. Walmart, a couple bucks. Looks like I need to buy another one because I'm almost out. But yeah, let's get to the rest of this. Yeah, see, that lighter does beautiful work on heat shrink. But yeah, I'm using heat shrink on everything, even though this is totally internal. It's not ever going to really see weather. I like the fact that the heat shrink glues to the wire along with the crimp, so you've kind of got a double attachment system. I don't have heat shrink for the bullets, so I'm just going to use regular ones and hope they hold. If they don't, I'll go back to the junkyard and find the other end of that. Now, if it was a really critical system, I'd go and fill that whole bullet in with solder and actually make sure I got a good, tight, solid electrical. But since this is simple courtesy lamps, I think that crimp is pretty solid and should hold well enough. Should conduct the power I need it to. Alright, got them tapped in, heat shrinked. Should be relatively solid in there. That should do the trick I need it to. Any excess can get tucked back in here. I'll wrap this back up, tape it all up so it's solid again. But yeah, this should do the trick. Alright, those are tapped in and shrunk down. My OCD tells me I wish I had orange wire to go with this, but red will be close enough. Considering it's just a short jumper, I'm not doing anything more than tapping into the factory power anyhow. Pretty sure if this came with this truck, they would have done the same thing. Tapped the wires right there, put the connector on it, and been done with it. But yeah, this should hold. I doubt I'll have to go back to the junkyard and find the other end of that. This should do the trick just fine. We'll find out when I'm done, right? Now here comes the very unorthodox part of how I'm going to actually make the hole I need. I only need a small rectangle that goes around those two things. And I found cutting through this headliner, that's your monster right there. Thin blade cutoff wheel does beautifully. Just got to be careful not to melt your headliner stuff too much, and definitely don't want to start a fire either, but you're only going through just a little bit, so this should be quick and easy. I hope. Oh, now my ears are ringing. But just a couple little plunge cuts into there. Doesn't really do too much. I just need to get in there with a small saw and cut the corners out, and we'll see if what I think is under there is under there. If I've got the actual, if the sheet metal is all the same no matter what the trucks are. I sure hope so, because if not, this is going to be a really pain in the butt. Alright, they're there, but my Mark 1 eyeball measuring is off, because there's the two clip holes. I hope that still covers up. I think I'm within. Make sure there's just one, and then definitely who came close there. Didn't want to come too close there. A wire chase right there. A little bit too close there and there, but don't want to cut through there, because that's the wires that go back to the HVAC and everything else. That's all of that goes through that chase. But yeah, probably need to come down here, make it a little bit better that way, and then definitely got to come over here about 1 inch and come over. So yeah, let me get to it. Make that hole bigger. So if you ever wonder what your headliners on these trucks was, this is it. A little bit of fiberglass, some semi-rigid foam, a little bit more soft foam, and then the cloth itself. It's pretty substantial. That's not bad. And actually, in theory, the thick foam and the spongy foam together will block out sound pretty well. But yeah, let's see. Hopefully I didn't go too big on this hole, and hopefully it all covers under that console. If not, oh crap. Then I'll tell the passenger not to look up. Alright, it's in. I'm getting low on battery. And yeah, as I was afraid, I went a little bit too far on that side. But lights work. Now I have map lights up front, which is what I wanted. That's freaking awesome. We know all these controls work. Thing is, my sunglasses don't fit in that. I haven't placed them on a garage door opener. And shoot, that one doesn't like coming open. With the CD tray, I'll figure out something to do with that someday. I got ideas of what I'm going to do with those spaces. But yeah, there it is. It's in. All you got to do is go to a junkyard, find yourself that. If you got an SUV like mine, then you know you've got the slots in there to be able to mount this one. You can mount either the short one or the long one, whichever you choose to. And I would suggest back here doing small exploratory holes first, and then figuring out where the two notches are at. And be careful of that wiring tray that's under there. I nicked it a little bit but didn't touch any of the wiring. So obviously my stuff back here is still working. But yeah, I'm freaking happy. So yeah, thanks for following along. We'll catch you on the next project. Thanks for watching.